a bunch of people are evacuating the beach. All of a sudden, all these armored people show up, and they say, "We'll take you to safer grounds." And people are like, "What's going on?" There's a tsunami about to hit. And then so they take us. We line up, and they take us in these truck vanish thingies, and they take us to supposedly was a refuge, and what I thought was a refuge. And then, let me just say, I'm going a little bit ahead, but it turns out there's no tsunami and that they were lying. And so basically, when I get there, I realize that it's not a refugee camp at all. To like refuge from the tsunami, it's a FEMA camp. It's like, and then, and most people, they separate people by sex. In this case, they separated it by ages. And that, I was like, wow. And then some kids were assigned to build guns. Some kids were assigned to do the dishes and like make food and stuff like this. And some kids were assigned to be super soldiers. And I remember that I was assigned to be like a super soldier. And what they did is they had these like little tubes that you'd go in, and then it'd kind of be like an elevator, and you'd go up, and you'd appear in this kind of stage, except you'd see a stage in front of you, at least like, let me see, 50 feet in front of you. And I saw like this dude, which was basically giving us instructions, and all the people had their arms like on their back, and they were all like in perfect condition, and basically. And there was like a turret on the wall, so if you disobeyed a command or you tried to do anything, like run away, it would shoot you. And that actually happened to someone, I'll tell you. So basically he was giving instructions, and there's a platform right next to me. And all of a sudden, the tube it starts going up, and all of a sudden the platform comes up. I see a girl that she's not even dressed in her full uniform. And she's just out there, and then she's like, oh, she's not undressed. She's talking, which she's not supposed to. They said you weren't supposed to talk. And all of a sudden, she was like, I was like, what? Like that? And then she was like, what she said was, I'm saved. Like that. And then the turret on the wall shot her up into pieces. And I tried my hardest to tried my hardest to ignore, but there was like blood everywhere, and some got on my face. But the thing was that if I were to move one hand to even wipe it off, I would get shot up. And also all the people around me, they even the people behind her, and like the guy who was giving the command, they just act like nothing ever happened. They act like she was an invisible person. Like, they did not get, and I was like, wow. Holy crap. How do you, a 12-year-old girl gets shot up and you can't even show, there's just a blank expression on your face. You can't even, wow, it's just like sad. And then there were like colors, like 7x7 little tubes. But in front of the tubes that led to the stage, on the stage, they're like 7x7, 7 people, which were like, instead of like 12, they were like 20, 21, and they all like stood there, but instead of facing the guy who was giving orders, they were facing us to make sure that we weren't fooling around, and to kind of be like technical role models for us. And then, so when she got shot up, and then I had to leave the room, and then I met my sister, who was actually on cleaning and serving me food, and basically all I remember is that I ate some food, and I went, and then all of a sudden I just woke up in the middle of the night. I went back to sleep. So basically, yeah, my dream was about how the government used a fake excuse to get people in FEMA camps, just like in World War II with Nazis.